Give yourself grace that your house is unraveling. Give yourself grace in this time of life because things are crazy and you just feel like poop and you can't tell anybody that you're pregnant because that's the rule, which is also kind of dumb. I feel like I just came out of the dumpster and nobody can know why. So this is fun. Give yourself some grace. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about motherhood, we talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of eco-friendly, kind of natural, kind of hippie, granola. If you're into that, please subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. By the time this video comes out, I will be about 16 weeks pregnant with my third child. I have a 1.5 or 2-year-old-ish and a 3.5 or 4-year-old-ish. I also have an Instagram, Hey Shayla, a podcast, Hey Shayla. And today, if you can't tell, I am in the second trimester of my pregnancy because I finally have some energy. The first trimester with other children is brutal. I remember with my first, I would like take naps on the couch. I'd be like, oh, how do people work? This is so hard. I just don't feel the good. Because I was working for myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if I had to go to an office? I just feel terrible. And then with my second, I was like, oh my gosh, I still have to take care of another human and feed them and bathe them. And I feel like trash. And now with my third, I'm like, I might not have another child just because of the first trimester. I don't know. Like, how do people have 16? Kudos. So I do think that there's some things that I did during this pregnancy that I could have helped myself a little more in my first pregnancy, but I just didn't know. So I want to share those things with you. Some of them are going to be like supplements. Don't take these supplements. If you haven't talked to your doctor, talk to them first, or just ask them, or use your best judgment. You decide. But don't take this for like, just do your own research before you start these things. So I've got 13 tips for how to survive the first trimester with 2 kids. Tip number 1. Nausea bands. I think I say nausea funny. Nausea. However you say it. These bands. These were very helpful in my first. I didn't need them so much in this pregnancy. It's supposed to like go a couple inches lower than your wrist here. You put them on, it's an acupressure point. I wore these religiously because with my first, I felt car sick all day long. Some people say hungover. I felt car sick, and these helped tremendously. In fact, maybe I'll bring these on my flight in case I need them, because that's what they're for. They're for like flights or motion sickness or nausea. These bands are super helpful. You can get a couple different kinds. These are the ones that I had. I'm gonna have a whole blog post with all of these things linked. These are super helpful. Thing number 2, small snacks. Probably carbs. Carbs made me feel the best. In the morning, I needed a peanut butter toast, and then I felt much better. Sometimes eggs if I could do that, but like, I couldn't always. But like cereal makes you feel good, bread makes you feel good, carbs, don't eat too many, but like, that was the other thing that made me feel good. And I wanted salad. Like, I wanted just a basic side house salad. I think it was just because it was like not very offensive. Like, it was just a very mild, light thing to eat. Thing number 3, you gotta keep your kids healthy, because if you are feeling like this and your children are sick, it's next level. You know it. I am obsessed with HIYA vitamins. I talk about them all the time. If your kid is above 2 years old, HIYA vitamins. Why do I love them? There's 0 sugar in their vitamins. It is a tablet that looks like this, not a gummy. They have 12 fruits and veggies. Before I had the HIYA multivitamin, I was still giving them other vitamins like zinc and vitamin D and vitamin C. Then I looked at the ingredients on here and I was like, it's all in here. All of the immune boosting things that I was giving them are in here, so I don't have to give it to them anymore. When you do your first order, you get 50% off. You go to hiyahealth.com/HeyShayla, 50% off. You get this refillable container that comes with a bunch of stickers. Every month, you get a scent and eco-friendly refillable to just put in here and refill. Mindless. It's so simple. My kids love these. They get mad that they can only have one. So I am a huge advocate of HIYA. So if you need a multivitamin for your kid, I didn't know you did. After 2, HIYA vitamins. hiyahealth.com/HeyShayla gets you 50% off your first order. You're welcome. Thing number 4, sleep. I said with my first, I would just take naps in the middle of the day. With these guys, there's an app that I use to track their sleep. I started tracking my sleep as well. I was getting like 10 hours a day. They're like, your average sleep is 10 hours a day. Because I would put them down to go to sleep and I would just fall asleep with them and I would just let it happen. I would not try to get up. I would not try to do anything else. I would just sleep with them and we would sleep for a long time and it was glorious. And so with my second pregnancy, I remember sleeping with Aaliyah during her nap time a lot. Can't do that anymore, because I have the toddler, so when I put the baby down, I can't fall asleep with the baby. I have to get up and go hang with the toddler. Which leads me to my next one, number 5, screen time. As somebody on the other side, because in the middle, even in this third pregnancy, I felt a tremendous amount of guilt about just how much screen time they were getting. And we were in the middle of winter, so it was like a double whammy. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to get off the couch. I wasn't as sick during this pregnancy, which either means I figured it out with all of these things, or maybe I'm having a boy, because it's just been different. But I don't remember everything with my second pregnancy, like what my symptoms were, but I remember thinking that my second pregnancy was a boy because things were different, and she ended up being a girl. So screen time. We watch an exuberant amount of screen time. Like I said, from being on the other side from two previous pregnancies, I'm like, oh, that was just like a couple of months in their life, which is kind of a lot in their life. But I was like, this is survival mode. I am having a hard time figuring out how to feed them for dinner. So during the day, we're just gonna watch a lot of screen time. And I actually did see it affect her emotions, and like she would get more tantrumy, and I never really saw that before, because people would be like, oh, I can't watch too many screens or my kid really gets affected by it. I'm like, it's never happened to us. It happened. When I'm saying we watch a lot of screens, we watch a lot of screens, but we had to. And now I'm on the other side. It's January, for some reason it's starting to get warm. We're gonna have a blizzard in a couple months, I'm sure, a couple weeks. Who knows, it's Minnesota. But it's like 50 degrees outside, and I'm like, all right, cool. Now we can get outside. Now we don't have to watch as many screens. I'm like feeling better. I have more energy, so I can like clean the house. The house was unraveling. But number 6, these are the supplements. Good golly, do I think that these made a difference. Vitamin B. I get the vitamin B methyl B12. I've just heard that vitamin B can really help. It helps with energy, but I think it also helps with pregnancy. I don't know. It has helped. Like, it gives me more energy. The other massive one that I think a lot of people are deficient in, but I get deficient in during pregnancy, is magnesium. Again, this will be in the blog post. I take magnesium, it helps me sleep. Some people apparently get energized from it. No, I get real drowsy. So I take it before bed. It helps me sleep better. I think it repletes, because I'm depleted. That's not right. It replenishes. Like, magnesium is amazing for sleep. It's amazing for stress. It's amazing for like so many things. But I think that helped me a lot, because I would feel nauseous at night sometimes, and I would do a protein and magnesium shake before bed. It helped a lot. I also take vitamin D, because it's sunny today, but it hasn't been sunny in like a few weeks here in Minnesota. But here's why I'm saying talk to your doctor, because you should also be taking a multivitamin. I love my multivitamin. It's a whole food multivitamin. Again, it'll be in the blog. You just want to make sure that you're not taking too much of like the vitamin B or the D or the magnesium. So talk to your doctor. Also, when I get pregnant, this was actually a sign. I was like, I might be pregnant, because like when I would clench my fist like this, my hands would like slowly creak out. Like they would just get locked up. Electrolytes. I have to take electrolytes. I take Element, which I really like. Very salty, but that helps me a lot. For sure, when I'm working out, I get really crampy like that, but sometimes, like this morning, I was just like running back to the house and I was like, I just like locked up. So that helps, but that also has magnesium in it, so I have to take less magnesium on the days that I take my electrolytes. Number 7, like I said, protein. Protein was massive in my first one. I got like a berry protein, because I can't do dairy, so it was a vegan berry protein. Now I just do like chocolate, banana. I just try and get in as much protein as I can, because baby needs lots of protein too. Those little easy snacks helped me to feel better. Number 8, get a babysitter. It allows you to nap. It allows you to not have so much mom guilt, because you're like, please just take them to the park, go outside, to go downstairs and play with them. I don't care. But I just need you to do something other than screens and just give them a little attention, because right now I'm struggling. Asking for your mom to come over and play with them, your aunt to come over, something to help alleviate mom guilt. And I know a lot of us do not have that kind of support, so you kind of have to pay for it if that's the case. But sometimes I would drop them off because they go to preschool for 3 hours, and I would just come home and like take a nap. You're literally building a human. Like, your body is growing, not only the baby, but the placenta. And when you finally get out of the first trimester, then the placenta takes over all the hormones, and that's why you feel better. So you're building this organ, you're building this human, you're building the organs inside the human. Like, your body's doing a lot. So you're tired, you don't feel good, it's just... And then you have to take care of the humans that you've already created. Like, woof. Number 9, it might feel good to move your body, it might not. I remember with my first pregnancy, Seth was like, just come to the gym, you'll feel better if you get moving. And I was like, okay. And so I got up and I was just laying on the gym floor. I'm not like where people are lifting weights, like in the room where they do yoga and stuff, just laying on the floor. Like, this is not a good idea. This is not, I don't feel better. I just need to lay down. So listen to your body. If you want, start a walk. If the walk feels terrible, go home. Give yourself the first trimester, and some people do not feel better once the first trimester is over, so give yourself the whole dang pregnancy, because you're doing an incredible thing. And this is just a little blip of your life, and the main responsibility is to build your baby. okay? I remember when I found out I was pregnant, because I found out super early, I was like, I have to work out until I feel like dog poop. So I was working out. I do Expecting and Empowered. Highly recommend for pregnancy and postpartum if you already work out and you need a guide to do it pregnancy safe, because there's a big difference. It's a physical therapist and a nurse. Or if you're like, I've never worked out but I feel like I should, it's good for your baby, it's good for your sleep, it's good for your mental health. It takes care of you. You can either add more weights, you can do less reps, like it's amazing. Hey Shayla, for a discount on the app. I had them on my podcast recently and they're like, start. Tell yourself you're gonna do 5 minutes. If it feels good, keep going. If you're like, okay, 5 minutes is good, I feel happy about that, and you're done, you just did 5 minutes. Done. Move your body if it feels good. Stop moving your body if it doesn't. Along with that, give yourself some grace. Give yourself a little grace. Give yourself grace to eat those carbs. Give yourself grace to not move your body. Give yourself grace that your kids are watching a lot of screen time. Give yourself grace that your house is unraveling. Give yourself grace in this time of life, because things are crazy and you just feel like poop, and you can't tell anybody that you're pregnant because that's the rule, which is also kind of dumb. Before I had my children, I had a miscarriage, and it's just like having to tell people, hey, I was pregnant and now I'm not, is really weird. And so I feel like tell the people that you would want support from if you had a miscarriage, because you want to say, hey, I'm pregnant and I'm only 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, but I want you to know. Then if you do have a miscarriage, you can say, this is a really shitty thing that just happened to me. I need your support. So I don't know. I feel like there's a big stigma around telling people before 12 weeks, but that first trimester, you're just like, I feel like I just came out of the dumpster and nobody can know why. So this is fun. Give yourself some grace. 11. Sometimes you have a really hard time taking your multivitamin. It like makes you more nauseous, right? Take it with your meal. So my toast and peanut butter, if that's your jam, cool. I have a friend who's like couldn't do dry toast. I was like, I don't know, what did you do then? But like find your thing that makes you feel better. Some people do like saltine crackers next to their bedstand, so when they wake up they can just like, or take your vitamins before bed. So try and take them with a meal, or take them before you go to sleep. Sometimes I'd feel real nauseous at night, but again, just give yourself some grace. Number 12. With my first, I refused to buy maternity clothes. It wasn't until like dang near the end of my 3rd trimester that I was like, okay, maybe I'll get some pants. Didn't want to do it. I was like, this is silly. I don't want to pay for these. If it's your first, go for it. If you think you're going to have more, because you're not just going to use them for 9 months, you're going to use them for, I wish I had bought more so that I have more now. Now I'm buying them for the first time for potentially my last pregnancy, which I don't feel that weird about. People are like, oh, it's your last pregnancy. It's your last whatever. I don't know. I don't think about it. It doesn't like make me emotional. Is that fine? With my miscarriage, we found out at 11 weeks that it was a blighted ovum, which means that there's no baby inside, but my body is doing all the things. I've got the hormones, my uterus is getting bigger, my boobs are still tender, I still have the pregnancy cravings. Like my body thinks it's pregnant, it hasn't realized that the baby's not in there anymore. So at 13 weeks, I actually miscarried. So this is like the 4th time that my body has been to 13 weeks. So it's like, we've been here before, we know this, well, bam! I just think things happen sooner. I remember with my first, I was just like, I'm still not showing. I'm like 30 weeks in it, you can hardly tell. And now I'm like, I'm 14 weeks, and you can definitely tell. When this comes out, I'll be like 16 weeks, but I'm like, you can't definitely tell, but it's happening. And so any sort of pressure that I was on my belly, even just like my yoga pants, I have to wear these, they're Blanky leggings. So if I stretch it a lot like that, you can kind of see there's like this circle thing that it does. Ugh. So it's really light. It's almost like tights here, and then it's like more of leggings on the side. So there's no pressure on your belly at all. So I was immediately like, week 6, went downstairs to get my maternity clothes and put them on, because it was making me feel nauseous having that like pressure on my belly. Last, 13, peppermint. Peppermint like oil, if you do essential oils, just smelling it, putting it on your scalp, or just like peppermint mint, peppermint gum. Peppermint helps with nausea. So those are my 13 tips for surviving the first trimester with kids. Primarily, keep your kids healthy. HIYA vitamins, hiyahealth.com/HeyShayla for 50% off your first order. Keep getting yourself the vitamins that you need. I think that's a really big one for me. And then just a shite ton of grace. It's a wild time, especially when you have other children. So just know that, and know that you're doing a great job, and that you're growing a freaking human, okay? I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.